Tell you what, sometimes you just don't plan for things, do you? And you don't expect the noise of the garden, a lorry going by. I've just had a couple of cyclists go by. Crazy, I didn't expect it to be this busy. But here we are, more importantly, this is Westhumble Chapel. And stay tuned for the history lesson. And see you. In the heart of Surrey lies the quaint and beautiful village of Westhumble, and within that remains the ruins of its once forgotten chapel. Unfortunately, not much is recorded about this ruined chapel, but what we do know is it was probably built around the late 12th century. The chapel was constructed of rounded flints and sandstone walls. What you can see is the west gable, part of the east wall and the south wall. The chapel was situated on lands belonging to Merton Priory, but its demise probably came with the dissolution of the monasteries in the mid-16th century. On a positive note, excavations turned up several burials and pottery of the late 13th century, including 2 cooking pots and 2 jugs, which were also uncovered. The burials were found outside the south wall of the chancel and at the east end of the site. With the site being owned by the National Trust, hopefully this hidden Surrey gem can provide a snapshot into a time long gone. So this is going to be a very brief video for obvious reasons, because it is a very small place. It reminds me of the Romney Marsh church ruins that, you know, depending on whatever you've seen, you've probably seen a couple of them on my channel. But to know that this one is in the heart of Surrey, near Dorking, on an incredible valley really, because it sort of seems to slope down. Box Hill isn't that far away and it plateaus over into a little bit smoother. And as you can see in the background, it's quite a nice view actually, somebody's house, surrounded by beautiful houses all around here, and a very busy road, which I wasn't expecting. I've always known about this place. In fact, I've seen a few videos on it and I thought, you know what, it's my turn now. And yeah, it's lovely. It's very tranquil here, minus the noise. And it's very off the radar. It's not labelled on anything in terms of, like, it's not labelled as a historic landmark on Google. And obviously, as you can see, it's part of the National Trust, who own it. But isn't that amazing, that? But yeah, you can see the outline of where this all goes into, and then you can see there's almost like an abutment over there, and obviously that's the driveway into another house. But I mean, again, it's one of these things, isn't it? Ruins are ruins, and they've got their own magic sort of quality to them. Seem to sort of come alive. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful this. But it's just the whole road is gorgeous really. But then I'm moaning about the noise, but then it is very early in the morning today. People are starting to come alive a little bit, so it's fully expected. What I love about this is that you've got, as you walk through, I should have probably done a video part for it, but that's probably down to you to experience. But there's the gate. You walk through these beautiful trees, and you come in, and then you what's to your left and to your right. This is what greets you. And I often say it's not the size of what's here that is important, it's the fact that stuff still is here. And I make that abundantly clear in any video that I do, so I don't care whether it's a huge underground complex or it's an abandoned colliery or anything. The point is that stuff like this, no matter how small, is still here. And ruins, I've mentioned it in a few videos before. Ruins have a certain majesty and quality to them that, yeah, okay, you know, you're not gonna be here for hours and hours or anything. There's definitely sort of a vibe about it that tells a sad story, but also a lesson about our history, that eventually it just becomes nature. Nature overturns, it takes it all. Now, as you can see, we'll walk round so you get a nice big perspective of this. Beautiful flints in there. I don't know if you can see that. Again, I seem to it's so overgrown here, but I like that because obviously it gives nature a place to thrive. Growing wildflowers, really, isn't it? I suppose to be a nature for bugs, for plants, for everything. But this is what I wanted to show you. If you come to the corner, you can see that although it's disappeared, you can see that, well, we're inside, aren't we? So this would be the inner wall that we're looking at. But you can see the corner, and you can see how much nature has just reclaimed that, and you can follow the track of the wall. And then if we look over, I don't really want to tread on anything, I don't need to. But yeah, look, there's some rubble and masonry, if you can sort of see that with the Eye of Faith. The Isle of Faith. And there's the wall there. Little bits of it. There you go. You can see, even I know you can all see that in there. Tiny, tiny chapel. But it's like I said, it's just something beautiful about it. Its size. I suppose the other thing that we have to always take into consideration is that I suppose it depends on your taste, doesn't it? But I've been to a lot of ruins, and it's nice because they're all different. I mean, yeah, okay, we're comparing the wall of this to Midley Church, which is very similar, but they're still different. You know, I mean, Midley, for example, doesn't have the sort of inner wall here, or the wall, should we just sort of say? I'm calling it inner because again we're inside, but that doesn't have that. It doesn't have these parts of the ruin. So it's very different in that way. You know, and that's what makes it, isn't it? They're just different. Bright colours still here. How weathered that's been. The amount of rain and wind has tried desperately to batter this, but yet it's still here. Isn't that just incredible? Oh, I love it. Well worth a trip down. There you go, Westhumble Chapel. Hopefully you really enjoyed that one. As I stand, I'm gonna chill out actually here. It's actually really peaceful now. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you enjoyed your wonderful little history lesson. In more words of Phoenix history, thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves, take care everybody, and I will see y'all very soon because history matters. Yeah, it does. Take care everybody.